Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. We're heading to the Big Ten. We've got a big one on Sunday. Ohio State travels to play Michigan. This is going to be Ralph's best bet. I'm going to kick it to you first, Brian. Ohio State, we're taping on Thursday. Ohio State plays tonight at Penn State. Just from a scheduling situation in this one, Ohio State's at a disadvantage going to Michigan on Sunday because not only do they have 1 day less rest than Michigan, who played on Wednesday night, Michigan's at home back-to-back games. They played Iowa last night. Penn State, they play tonight at Penn State, and we've talked about this several times. I talk about it with West Virginia in the Big 12. I talk about it with Rutgers and, Penn State in the Big 10. Those teams are not geographically meant to be in the conference that they're in. So it's a tougher road trip. Now you got to make 2 road games in a couple-day period. I think it's a huge disadvantage for Ohio State moving into this one, going into Sunday's game. How do you view this one?
Yeah, it's really interesting because Ohio State's lost once at home this year, and it was to Penn State. So not only do they play Penn State, they play Penn State looking to avenge their only home loss, but yet
a three-pointer at the buzzer to boot.
They've got that game on deck against their arch rival in Michigan. So it's kind of tough to handicap this game without knowing what happens in that game. If Ohio State comes out tonight as we speak, because we're taping on Thursday, if they come out and play a great game tonight, then what kind of effort are they going to have left for Michigan? If they come out tonight and then they struggle against Penn State, then you have a better opportunity against Michigan. But, it's really interesting for Ohio State. And I don't know about you, Ralph, but coming into the season, I wasn't expecting this out of Ohio State. I thought they'd have a better team than they have had, but they've been pretty impressive all season long.
Coach of the Year. He really deserves Coach of the Year. It's Chris Holtmann, the old Butler coach. For what he did, I completely agree. This Ohio State team, I watch them and I still don't understand how they win like they do. They just play incredibly together. Now, it is OHIO against Michigan, so you know what that means? Well, it means that I'm going to be siding with Michigan in this game. Like I said, I watch this Ohio State team. You've got to remember that Michigan has only lost 1 game at home the entire season, and that was to Purdue by a point. Ohio State beat Purdue too, but Purdue still is. Them and Michigan State are clearly the 2 best teams in the Big Ten. Ohio State may win the Big Ten because they've only played Purdue once and they beat them, and they only, because of the schedule. But Ohio State, I think, is the 3rd best team. But you got to remember, this Michigan team plays a lot of young kids. They change up the way they play. They won the Big Ten tournament last year, so they have a lot of experience as the season progresses. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. As you said, they're home for a 2nd straight. They have an extra day to prep. This is Michigan's final home game as well, which is a huge boost to the seniors. It gets very emotional. It'll give them a huge start to that game. And you got to remember, Cam Williams was Ohio State's starting guard the first 25 games of the year. He's been suspended the last 3 games. He's still not playing. Granted, people forgot about him because they played so well at Purdue. But on the road in these back-to-back games, missing a starting guard is a big deal. I like Michigan. I think Michigan will be favored by 1.5 or 2 points, or closer to pick. Since I like Michigan, I'm making the line maybe higher than it will be. But if Michigan comes a dog or as a favorite of anything under a bucket, I'm going to back them on Sunday. Yeah,
like Brian says, really not knowing the outcome of tonight's game, I can't really lock into a side. I'm just going to say one thing about Michigan. You mentioned they won 4 of their last 5 games. They're 5-3 their last 8 games. The problem I have is that of the 5 wins, none of them came against the elite teams in the Big Ten. Beating Rutgers, beating Northwestern, beating Minnesota, beating Wisconsin, who's having a horrible season. The 2 biggest surprises this year to me in the Big Ten is how good Ohio State's playing and how bad Wisconsin's played this year. I thought both would be, I thought Ohio State would be good, but I didn't think they'd be this good. I knew Wisconsin was going to have a down year, but I didn't think they were going to go this far down the ladder. And then Iowa really doesn't impress me. I'd like to see a couple more signature wins for Michigan recently. That's my only drawback on the Michigan side. Ohio State, we know what they've done. They've been there all year. That one loss that we talked about with Penn State.
I will tell you one thing that does scare me when I back Michigan is they have a point guard who shoots 55 or 60% from the free throw line. And he's the guy who, it's horrible. I've never seen a point guard shoot so bad as he does. So that would concern me if you're laying more points with Michigan, but in a win situation, I still like him at home.
All right, there you go. Hey, guys, don't forget every Monday at WagerTalk, it's Manic Monday. Every place just $9 at WagerTalk. Check it out each and every Monday. And guys, if you like these videos, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be sure to share it with all your friends. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com. All right.